Hi everyone, welcome back, and tonight we're going to be discussing dynamic parameters. So dynamic parameters will allow us to monitor, in this example, the performance of categories between different measures, and those measures are going to be sum of profit and sum of sales. So if we recall back, parameters allow the user to customize the data in their view according to their needs. And so before we get started, I did want to drop down some helpful tips in my DIY slide, and these are simple steps that will help guide us in creating our functional dynamic parameter. So those steps, of course, are to create the parameter, use that parameter in a calculation, use that calculation, and then show that parameter and its controls. So we can go in and follow those steps. First, we're going to make our parameter, and of course, we will bring a call to action with our parameter, which will be select measure. And rather than clicking all or range, we are going to use list. And so what list does is tell Tableau later within our calculation, rather than aggregating, we're going to be specifically running some logical decisions. And when we land on case 1 or 2, we will be selecting the appropriate choice. And so these choices will be displayed within the parameter control. And so we have value 1 and value 2. And so we're going to display the first as sum of profit and the second as sum of sales. And we can go ahead and click OK. Next, we have to make our calculated field. As I mentioned earlier, our calculated field is not going to be aggregating anything, but instead running some logical tasks to receive the appropriate values that we have to display. So those logical tasks are going to be run by using a case statement. And so after we name our calculated field, we're going to go ahead and do just that. So we're going to use case, and so as I mentioned, case allows Tableau to run those logical tasks and give us what we're looking for. So we can go ahead and drag our select measure, which is the parameter that we're going to be using, and you don't have to drag, you can also type it in manually. And we're going to be using a series of when and then statements. So we're going to type when 1, then sum of profit, when 2, then we should be seeing the sum of sales. And we can end this calculation with a simple AND. So we see that the calculation is valid, and we go ahead and click it. And so when constructing our graph, we're just going to be going over our order date in the columns, and we're going to be looking at our dynamic measure calculation into our rows. And so we do see the performance, and we can drag category into color to give us a better meaning as to what's going on. And we can actually just show our filter, show our parameter. Oh, excuse me, that is the wrong parameter. So when we show the correct parameter, which is select measure, we are given our parameter box on the right hand side. And so now we have the options to click sum of profit or sum of sales. And so what we're actually doing is we're now able to look through the performance of these departments over this 4-year period by selecting sum of profit or sum of sales. And so that is how you use a dynamic parameter. So of course, when using your dynamic parameter, you're not limited to only 2 selections. You can have as many as you'd like, and you just have to make sure that you complete the appropriate amounts of when and then statements within your calculation. So thank you everyone for tuning in for this quick tutorial. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Feel free to reach out or comment below. Thanks.